Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about all of the creative projects I want to complete. Wearable edition, not all together, because that would be crazy to know some of like the paintings and drawings that I want to do this year. But we're going to get to those. I'm probably not going to make a video about that just because we'll be getting into a whole different territory. But anyway, we're going to be talking about wearables, crochet, knitwear, and sewing. So I may or may not have filmed this video 2, maybe 3 times, but hopefully this is the one that'll turn out really good and I don't look crazy in it. I might look a little crazy. My hair is very big today, but it's nice. It's very defined. My curls are so funny sometimes. But anyway, let's just jump right into this because there's no reason to delay. I do want to talk about how I've been making wearables probably since 2021, 2022. I've made 3 birthday outfits for myself. I don't know. I would just get this idea that I should make my birthday outfit and I would do it. And so I have 3 crochet birthday outfits and I think they all came out good. The one I wore for my 31st birthday is probably my favorite because that one is just so me. It's very laid back and relaxed. It's not colorful. It's all white. I just really enjoyed that outfit. I love a good 2-piece set and it just all worked out and it fit perfectly, and that just let me know that like my crochet skills have gotten really good. And then sewing wise, I have completed multiple different projects over the course of like 10 years, but I'm one of those people that like I'll sew something and it doesn't fit and I don't go back to fix it, or I just kind of like leave it and just I'm over it. And part of that was just because like sewing machine issues, or just I measured wrong, or I just got lazy. So with sewing, I do kind of do that, even though like I should go back and fix it. So this year I would just want to get into the habit of like, if it's wrong, just go back and fix it or redo it if I can. And then as far as knitwear goes, I've only completed 1 knitwear project. It is wrong. I wasn't planning on going back to fix it, but I was probably going to remake it at some point. I honestly think it's easier to go back and remake than try to fix it, especially if it's already done. So anyway, let's just jump into the projects that I want to complete this year, starting with projects that I've already started, whether I started them last year or a few years ago, which there is one. Let's start off with the Camisole number 9. I have mentioned this in multiple videos now, and I have been working on this for a few weeks, but that is because I actually had to start over. I was using the wrong yarn, and it was turning out to be like this really big piece. I went from using this cotton yarn from Hobby to knitting for Olive Merino, and the difference is crazy because like I was like, oh, okay, I get it now on why you need to gauge swatch and why just because 2 yarns look like they may be similar, they are not. So I get it now. With crochet, I feel like there's so much more room to do that. Like you can use like a much smaller yarn, and if it looks like it's not, fitting around like your bust area, you can just keep going until it does look like it's fitting around your bust area. And it's just very easy to just like hold it up to yourself and be like, yeah, okay, cool. But with knitwear, it's just so different. It's so different. But I've been working on this and I think I'm really going to like this one. I really wanted to make a point to make things that I know I'm going to wear and not just things that were cool to make, but I know I'm not going to wear. And that's something I've done all across the board, crochet and sewing too, where I would make something or be in the middle of making something and I'm like, am I ever actually going to wear this? And usually the answer would be no. That's why I don't mind working on elevated basics for my projects. Okay, so the next project I've already started is the Montpellier Slipover by November Knits. This is actually for my mom, and so far it's an interesting pattern. I was like, oh, okay, we're starting with the back. I think that's interesting, and it's like the design on the back kind of. It's very interesting, and I even worked on like going back and fixing stitches. So if I dropped a stitch or one of my rib stitches was the wrong way, I now know how to go back and do a little like surgery. So love that. Now I can like move on and continue working on that. I can again work on it pretty slowly. My mom's birthday isn't until next month, but I do need to get working on it here soon because March is going to sneak up on us just like February did. And then the next project is the Luna cardigan by Mrs. Moon in Heaven. I actually started this back in 2021, I believe, and I would start and stop. It was like start and stop, start and stop. And then at one point when I was moving, because I moved twice in the span of a year, I just forgot about it. Then I picked it back up. And then I was like, no, this is kind of boring, because it is a very easy pattern if you are like an expert or like advanced at crocheting. It is very easy, so it can be kind of boring. Like sometimes the easier the project, the more boring it is. I don't know the psychology behind that, but yeah, it can be like that. So I was like, okay, well, let me just finish it. But now I'm at this point where I'm like, well, what if I frog it? What if I frog it? Because I know I'm not going to wear it at this point. It's not even anything within my style, and it kind of doesn't fit anymore, because when I started it, I was much smaller than I am now. So it is kind of one of those things where it's like, maybe I should frog it. I think I might frog it, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. But it is looking like I might. And then a project I started last week, just randomly, was some granny square pants by Faces Tote and Crochet. It is a video tutorial here on YouTube, and I just was like, oh, those are really cute. And she used black and white, and I have a ton of black and white yarn. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's jump right into this, because this will be easy. But me, I like to make things difficult for myself. So I started working on a different type of granny square other than like the basic one that everybody uses. And I was like, I really just want that for the butt part and the crotch part, just so that you can't see through it. Like I wanted no gaps. But of course, when you do no gaps, you have to crochet way more stitches. I think that's worth it, just so that it's not see-through and I won't have to like wear a certain type of short underneath, because that kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion. I could put a liner in there. I really could, but I'm just like, no, I want it to be fully crochet. We'll see how that works out, because it kind of doesn't match the normal granny square pattern, but we'll see. It might look great. And then another project I'm working on is the Granny Square Bag by Viv Crochets, another video tutorial here on YouTube. I actually crocheted one of these, and then I started another one because I was like, okay, let me really get rid of this yarn, because oh my God, like I still have so much. And I started working on that, and I didn't finish it. I have like, I think one more square to go, and I could really finish that whenever. I just haven't. The hardest part of that is actually the bag strap, and it's really not even hard. It's just one of those things where it's very like repetitive, and it's just like, But I don't know. I've really been feeling granny squares because you can kind of do whatever you want with them, and I don't know, like you can just keep going if you want to, and then you'll have this big old giant blanket at some point. And I don't know, I'm feeling granny squares. They're not that repetitive, but they are in a way. I don't know, they're just different. I love them. I also love the granny stitch. That's also a big favorite of mine. And I definitely need to make something out of granny stitches. Now, here are some projects that I want to start. There is quite a few, but not too many. I didn't want to overwhelm myself this year, because I know me. Like the amount of like crochet patterns and knitwear patterns and sewing that I have saved or favorited on Etsy and Ravelry is insane, because it's a lot. And I know I can't make all of those in a year. That would be crazy, right? I just decided to choose my favorites. Like I know I really want to focus on summer wear, because that is like the main part of my wardrobe that I really want to be wearable and focus on, because shopping for summer clothes has been the hardest thing for me. And I don't want to be in something just like straight up boring, just straight linen. No, that's no fun. The first thing I want to make is the Haze cardigan by Ranti Studios, and I have already purchased the yarn for this. I am so excited to start this. So pretty much right when I cast off my Camisole number 9, I am going to cast on the Haze cardigan, because I actually want to wear that for the springtime. I think that'll look so good with a lot of my outfits, and I can't wait to pair Camisole number 9 and the Haze cardigan together. Like I think that'll look so pretty together. Like knit on knit would be so nice. And the yarn I chose was the Katia Baby Merino and the Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk from Lind Hobby. And I used the color Cobalt Blue in both. I think one is Cobalt Blue and then blue, I can't exactly remember. Yeah, I'm very excited to get started on that. And if you want to see it, I gauge swatched it in my second to last vlog. I still have really not figured out ribbing in knitwear, but I'm gonna try to do the Camisole number 5 by My Favorite Things. It is very pretty, but it just looks difficult, and and I feel like I'm going to be doing it forever. It's going to take so long to work up. I don't know. We'll see though, because I think it's going to turn out really pretty when I do it. But like, I think with knitwear, it's a lot easier to do easier projects than it is with crochet, because easy projects in crochet, again, can just be very boring, especially if it's very repetitive. But like with knitwear, it's like everything about it is kind of complex and it can be messed up with just one drop stitch. So it's just like one of those things. I don't know. So we will see if I actually do get around to Camisole number 5. But if I do, obviously you guys will be the first to know. And then I also really love the Brooklyn Backless top by MadebyRosh. And I like all of her projects, but this one really caught my eye because, you know, there is just something about backless tops that I just really love. And I think this will work up pretty fast as well because it is backless. You don't have to create a back. So yeah, and I like the idea of adding the O-rings or the rings to it. And I don't know, like something about that is just a nice touch to it. And you can kind of use any type of O-ring that you want, and it could be very decorative. It could be just like so pretty. Like you could get a gold one, silver one, but also like an ornate one. I don't know. Like the options are endless with that. So you can make that top just look really nice. And then the last on that list is the August top by NatsRecord. And I love a good halter top. So yeah, I will most likely be making this one. And I love the keyhole. The keyhole is so gorgeous. So I am very much looking forward to this. I might also make it in red because I don't know, summer red, chef's kiss. Like I love it. But I also might make a different color. If it works up fast, I might make more than one. And now for crochet. So I'm just jumping to this one. So I want to make the Silva Shrug ByChelles. It's ByChelles. That's that name. I didn't want to say by twice. Anyway, so the Silva Shrug. I actually had this done, but when I finished it, I got lost in like working on it. That when I went on to try it, the sleeves were like way down here. Like, I don't want to be out of frame. They were so long. And I was like, how did I do that? Like, I just got in a trance when I was making it. And it does work up very fast. Like, it's literally a quarter of a shirt. And I think with these boleros or shrugs, make them yourself. Like, do not buy these because they charge entirely too much for these in stores. Like, they are the price of a shirt most of the time. Like, if a shirt is about $50 in a store, the bolero or shrug is going to be like $35, almost $40. And I don't know, that something about that just does not feel right. So definitely, if you can crochet or sew, just make it. Just make the shrug because ain't no way. Ain't no way. And you know what's cool about that? If you do decide to make it, you might, with knitting, you'll probably only need about 1 skein of yarn. With crochet, you might need 2 or 3, but I don't know. If you knit it, you could probably get your money's worth and use a really good high quality yarn. I just suggest making a shrug if you are, because the price for them in store is ridiculous. They are crazy. And the next thing I want to make is the Sunburst Mosaic Bralette by Liz and Hook. I have had this in my favorites for a while, and I always just thought it was too advanced for me at the time. And then when I was like looking at the projects I wanted to do this year, I was like, oh yeah, I could probably do that. And it'll probably work up pretty quickly, especially because I'm very much like liking granny squares right now. I think I'll like do it really quickly and then be like, I want to do it again, knowing me. So I may do this one. I do like the way that this looks. And even the way it looks in the back is very pretty because it normally, when you're doing crochet stuff, they always do the corset back or just a string to hold everything in the back. And like it is kind of a string in the back, but it's not, it just looks better than most other crochet bralettes. That's just my opinion though. And then I want to do the Abstract Faces Tote by knittingdaises. I've had this in my favorites also for a very long time. And I was like, okay, I think it's time that I can do this. I don't really know how they get the faces. I don't know if they go over it with like the needle. I'm drawing a blank on what that's called. But yeah, I don't know. But if you can just like crochet it, that would be cool too. Either way, I want to do it. Like it's time to like advance my skills, you know? I can't complain about things being boring and then like I don't do the harder things, you know? Like how silly is that? Okay, then last but not least, another thing that I had saved in my favorites is the Lana Tee / sweater by yumeije. I believe that's how you say her name. And this is like a top-down sweater or tee that you can do, but in crochet. And I think that is so interesting. And I don't know if it'll work up fast, but it looks really cute and cool. And this is something that I would probably wear in the fall time. But what I want to do is kind of splurge on the yarn just so that it's going to be really, really soft. And then, yeah, just work it up and just like spend a bunch of money on it. Like not for that reason, but just because it is so cute. Most likely I would make it one solid color. One thing about me is I'm going to make things in a solid color. I'm not the type of person to have multiple different colors. It's just not my thing. It doesn't fit my aesthetic, I guess, or my style. It's just something that I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do a singular color. Now with granny squares, I do at least use 2 colors. Anything more than that it's pushing it. It's pushing it. But right now with my granny square pants, they're black and white. And to me, that's like actually no color. If I were to do the granny square pants again, I might do like a cream or like not a beige, like barely beige color and a black. I think that would look so pretty. When it comes to the fiber arts space, I don't need a lot of color. Like there are some things that like one day I probably will be like, yeah, I want to use a lot of color. But like right now, no, I like my solids monochromatic. Like even if I use different shades of the same color, I wouldn't mind that, or hues, tones, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't mind that. But for now, we'll stick with solids. Okay, now we got to move on to sewing, and I'll try to get through this pretty quickly. 2 of these patterns I've already purchased. The first is the Zefir pants by Dressmaking Amore. I used to have a pair of pants from Topshop, the actual Topshop, not the one that's in Nordstrom now. Actually, is that even there now? I don't even know. But I used to have this pair of pants that I bought from Topshop, and they were so cute. They were good casual and good for dressy events. Like you could dress them up very easily. And part of that was because they had this like line right down the front, and it just made it look so good. It was kind of like a crease, but it wasn't a crease. I forget what you call that in sewing terms, but it elevated some of my outfits very easily, and it would be like very easy to like switch. So it wasn't like super dressy, but they could easily be a dress pant if I really wanted them to. And they looked good with like heels and heeled boots, especially. So cute. And then, I started going to the gym, couldn't fit the pants anymore, so I had to get rid of them. So when I saw the Zefir pants, I was like, wait, these look so similar to the Topshop pants, and I can make them now and make them out of whatever material I want, because I will say that material was very much polyester then, but like now I can use cotton, I can use fleece, I can use jean fabric, anything now. And no matter what weight I am, I have a pattern now. So it all works in my favor, I feel like. I will definitely be making these because, and maybe multiple times, just because, I don't know, I loved that pant so much. Like, I don't think I've ever like loved pants so much. I am so excited to make those. Okay, and the next one is the Fruit Pajama set by Rosy's Patterns. So I bought this pattern too. Usually the way I see it is if I buy a pattern, I'm most likely going to make it. That is not true for crochet, but for sewing, it usually is. It's like, okay, well now I have this pattern bought, I have to make it. I wanted to start making my own pajamas. I know that this is a thing going on YouTube right now where everybody's kind of like making their pajamas right now, and I kind of wanted to jump in on the trend. I'm not really interested in like super elevated pajamas, but maybe. There's a few that I've seen where I'm like, that's really cute, but it's not on my list. So if I do make it, I'll let you know, but it's not on the list because it's not something like I'm super excited to make. But the fruit pajama set, I do. And I do want to get some fruit fabric, but I'm not seeing the one that I really want in cotton. I want it to be cotton. I don't want it to be like nylon or polyester. I want it to be cotton, and that is very hard to find in that print. I may just have to suck it up or just do solids, which is fine by me. Definitely going to be making that soon. And that shouldn't take more than a day just because it's literally like a box and then the pants are pants. Same pattern maker, Rosy's Patterns. She has so many good patterns. When I find a good pattern maker or designer, I like to stick with them. And that's The other crochet person that I love is ByChelles. I've bought so many of her patterns and haven't made many, but I may have to go back and just make some over a weekend because I love ByChelles crochet patterns, but that's how I feel about Rosy's patterns. Anyway, so the next one is the Pamilla dress or the Pamilla dress. I think this is so cute, and I'm going to a wedding soon, and I was like, well, what if I wear this to one of the dinners? Like, this is so cute, and I can wear that all summer long. But yeah, I just think it is so adorable, and I think it'll make a good like date night dress. So yeah, I may have to make this. Already know where I'm gonna get the lace from. As far as the satin or silk part, I don't know yet, but the place I normally order from, which is Fabric Wholesale Direct. That's where I buy a lot of my fabric from. It's very affordable. I think it's like all just like dead stock. I don't know what's going on that site, but I've bought so much fabric from them. I may have to go ahead and make that. I feel like I don't have to just stick to satin either. I can use a different fabric like chambray or even cotton gauze. We'll see though, because like I was just like, it doesn't have to be satiny. I hate working with satin, so that kind of works in my favor. But yeah, I will probably be making that very soon. And then last but not least is the Sayda top, also by Rosy's Patterns. And I think this top is going to be so cute. I'm definitely going to make this. Like, if I don't make anything else in the sewing department, I will be making that because that top is just so cute. And again, I can use different fabrics, any type of cotton. I can use a quilting cotton. I can use cotton gauze, which is probably what I will end up using. I love cotton gauze. So I don't know. I just always gravitate towards it. It's very breathable. Probably the best type of cotton in my opinion when it comes to wearables. I love that top. I think it looks so grown up. Very much like I'm in my 30s. I'm grown and sexy, and you can dress it up and down. And it looks like one of those things like, even though it has those details, it might be easy to put together. I would make multiples. I would make at least 2, maybe 3, because you could do it in different colors. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I know I'm going to be making that because I already have the fabric for that. I should have bought that pattern first and just made that just to start with tops first. But whatever, it's fine. I can still buy it. It's not a big deal. That is all for the projects that I want to do this year, and I think I can be successful. I think the only thing that might slow me down probably is the knitting, because knitting is a very slow process. So I really have to like figure out how I'm gonna like get those things done. But if they don't get done, it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, I didn't get to do it. I can't wait to do a roundup next year where I'm like, yeah, my 2026 projects that I've completed, and I'm gonna put them all in the same video just like I did this one, because why would I separate them? That is all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this video. Leave a comment if you have some favorites that you liked in this video. But that's all. Thank you so much. Bye.